Welcome to this lecture series in chemical reaction engineering. We will continue with the further topics. Now we will study enzyme catalyzed reactions and search for mechanism of enzyme substrate reaction. Here a reactant called substrate is converted into product by the action of enzyme, which is a high molecular weight compound with molecular weights greater than 10,000, a protein like substance. An enzyme is highly specific and catalyzing one particular reaction or one group of reactions, represented by reactant A giving you R in presence of enzyme. Now many of these reactions exhibit this kind of behavior. Number one, the rate is proportional to the concentration of enzyme introduced in the mixture, which is E0. The rate is proportional. At low concentrations of the reactant, the rate is proportional to the reactant concentration, directly proportional. At high concentrations, rates levels off and become independent of concentration. So at low concentration, proportional to concentration. At high concentration, independent of concentration. And we have to propose a mechanism to account this kind of behavior. So we have Michaelis-Menten type kinetics. Now this kinetics you are aware of. We have studied this kind of rate laws in chapter number 3. We have seen problems also. So in 1913 they have proposed this mechanism and got the Nobel Prize in chemistry for this. They guess that the reaction proceeds as follows: A plus E, reactant A substrate in presence of enzyme, gives some complex X. Okay, I am not using star here because it is the problem from the book. They have not used this star. You can use star also to distinguish between the intermediate or complex and other reactants and products. So A plus E giving you S reversible with rate constant K1 and K2. This is irreversible reaction. X is giving you R plus E. Okay. So E0 at any time, it is concentration of E plus concentration of X, and concentration of X is almost negligible. Net rate of formation of this X intermediate is 0. So dx by dt tending to 0. If I write rate of formation of R, dr by dt, that is formed by this forward reaction, so plus sign, K3 into concentration of X. This we have written. Then rate of formation of X, dx by dt. So X is formed by these forward reactions. So K1 concentration of A into concentration of E. It is consumed by this reverse reaction. So K2 into concentration of X, and it is also consumed by this reaction with rate constant K3. So minus sign, again consumption, K3 into X. So we are writing in terms of rate of formation. So we use plus sign for formation on this side and minus sign for consumption. This E will replace by E0 minus X. Concentration of E0 minus concentration of X. A into E. This is replaced and rest of the terms are as it is. So if we solve the bracket, K1 into concentration of A into concentration E0 minus K1 into concentration of A into concentration of X minus K2 concentration of X minus K3 into concentration of X, same terms. If I write now, by at steady state, no net rate of formation is there, net rate of formation is 0. So this concentration of X can be written in terms of known quantities or determinable measurable quantities. K1A is 0 and this transferred with plus sign and then taken in the denominator with plus signs all. So K1 into concentration of A plus K2 plus K3. This we have written. Rate of formation of R, we know K3 into concentration of X. So K3 into concentration of X I have substituted, so I get K1 K3 concentration of A into concentration of E0 divided by K1 into concentration of A plus K2 plus K3. Okay. Now if I divide numerator and denominator by K1, so in the numerator what I get? K1 will cancel out, K3 into concentration of A into concentration of A0. Here K1 will cancel out, only concentration of A term is left. Plus this K2 plus K3 divided by K1 I can combine and write in a bracket. So this particular constant K2 plus K3 by K1 is denoted as M, and this is known as Michaelis constant. So rate of formation of R is written as K3 into concentration of A into concentration of E0 in the numerator, and in the denominator you have concentration of A plus this Michaelis constant M. Now check these conditions which are observed by experimental findings. Rate proportional to the concentration of enzyme introduced. Rate is directly proportional to concentration of enzyme. Second, at a low concentration, so at a low concentration of this will be negligible as compared to this, and we get K3 by M A into E0. So directly proportional to the concentration of A. This is also verified. This is also verified. At high concentration, the rate levels of at high concentration, this will be negligible. So concentration of A terms cancel out, or you can say levels of, and you get rate law Kr is equal to simply independent of this. Okay, at high concentrations. So this cancels out, and K3 by M some new constant into E0, but it is definitely independent of A. So independent of it at high concentration, that is verified. At low concentration, directly proportional to concentration of A, and it is in general rate is proportional to concentration of enzyme. So all three conditions are satisfied. That means the proposed mechanism is validated. Now we will see the temperature dependent term of rate equation. Okay, from Arrhenius law. For many reactions, and particularly for elementary reactions, the rate expressions can be written as a product of temperature dependent term and composition or concentration dependent term. Concentration dependent term or composition dependent term. So rate is a function of temperature and function of composition. This function of temperature term is included K. K is rate constant, it is temperature sensitive term into function of composition. For such reaction, temperature dependent term is the reaction rate constant and has been found in practically all classes to be well represented by Arrhenius law. K is equal to K0 into e raised to minus e by RT. E is activation energy, K0 is the frequency factor. This expression fits our experimental findings over a wide range of temperature ranges and is a good approximation for the true temperature dependency. At same concentrations but two different temperatures, if I write ratio of the rates ln of R2 by R1 will be equal to ln of K2 by K1. So this K1 is at temperature T1, K2 is rate constant at temperature T2, R1 is rate at temperature T1, R2 is rate at temperature T2, and that is equal to E by R into 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. So if you plot this 1 by T as a function of ln of K, that means this equation I can write as ln of K is equal to ln of K0 plus minus E by R into 1 by T. So y is equal to mx form, this we have used in chapter 3 also. So 1 by T on x axis and ln of K on y axis. So same plot is there. K is written, this is logarithmic scale, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200 logarithmic scale. So K is taken. If you take ln of K value, then you take your normal scale. Here this 1 by t is plotted here, and this is ln of k, but actually it is logarithmic scale on y-axis, so semi-log paper you can say. So this plot high activation energy, this slope is E by R. So if slope is high, activation energy will be higher. Slope is less value, means low activation energy. Okay. So these are representations here, and this in general slope E by R if you have the different values. And here the observation, for doubling the rate at low temperatures, delta T is 1000, and for doubling the rate at high temperatures, delta T is observed to be 87. So these points we will discuss. From Arrhenius law, a plot of ln of k versus 1 by t. So here k is written, that means y-axis is our logarithmic scale. You can plot on normal scale and plot ln of k. ln of k versus this is better, ln of k is here versus 1 by t, and it gives a straight line with the large slope for large values of E or high E, and small slopes for small e or low values of E. Reaction with high activation energy are very temperature sensitive, and reactions with low activation energy are relatively temperature insensitive or less sensitive. Any given reaction is much more temperature sensitive at low temperatures. Any given reaction is much more temperature sensitive at low temperature than at high temperature. So 1 by t on this side, it represents low temperature, and 1 by t on this side, it represents high temperature. T is high, 1 by t will be low. Okay. So at low temperatures means higher values of 1 by t. Here for doubling only 87 degrees delta T is required, means more temperature sensitive. Now we will see the problems from exercise. 2.1. A reaction has the stoichiometric equation A plus B gives 2R. What is the order of the reaction? Now we do not have any experimental data, and it is not mentioned whether the reaction is elementary or non-elementary. If it is elementary, simply minus R is equal to KCACB. Without experimental data, we cannot find the order of the reaction. Stoichiometry did not necessarily correspond to order. If we consider the reaction to be elementary, then order will be first order with respect to A, first order with respect to B, and overall order will be second order. That is, if we assume that it is elementary. In the question, it is not mentioned anything that reaction is elementary or non-elementary. So our answer is, without experimental data, we cannot find the order of the reaction. 2.2. The reaction is given here. 2 moles of NO2 reacts with half mole of O2 oxygen to give you nitrogen pentoxide N2O5 1 mole. What is the relation between the rates of formation and rate of disappearance of the three components taking part in the reaction? So this can be written as, stoichiometry is 2 moles, half moles and 1 mole. So this stoichiometric coefficient you divide and write the rates. For disappearance, minus sign. NO2 is disappearing, minus rate of disappearance of NO2 represented as minus R of NO2 divided by 2. Rate of disappearance of oxygen, minus sign R of O2, minus sign for disappearance, and divided by half means multiplied by 2, and 1 is to 1. So rate of formation plus sign plus rate of formation of N2O5. So this is the answer. Reaction with stoichiometric equation, half mole of A reacts with 1 mole of B to give 1 mole of R and half mole of S. It has the following rate expression. So this rate expression is given means based on the experimental data. It is Ca raised to half Cb. So direct correspondence between the stoichiometry and the order, stoichiometric coefficients and orders of the reaction. 2 is experimental determined rate constant, you can say. So this represents a elementary reaction. What is the rate expression for this reaction? If the stoichiometric equation is written as A plus 2B gives R plus S. Okay, just multiplied throughout by 2. Now here we have changed the stoichiometric coefficient, but whether you multiply by 2, by 3, whatever, equation is balanced. That means the rate law will not change. It is based on the experimental observations. It has nothing to do with this stoichiometric coefficient. Incidentally, it is matching with stoichiometric coefficient and we say that the reaction is elementary. So rate law will remain unchanged as it is a experimentally determined best fit equation. Rate law will not be now, because you say this is elementary, then this has to be elementary, then rate law will become minus Ra is equal to Ca raised to 1 Ca square. No, it cannot be. So this you have to understand and keep in mind. 2.4. For enzyme substrate reaction from example 2, the rate of disappearance, this is the solved example 2 which you have to refer that. Rate of disappearance of substrate minus Ra is 1760 into concentration of A into concentration of E0 divided by 6 plus Ca. Units of rate are moles per meter cube per second. What are the units of the two constants? Here one constant is 1760 and another is this 6. First term in the denominator, this is 6. These terms you are adding, so this must have the same units of that as that of concentration. So here moles per meter cube per second, so concentration will be in moles per meter cube. So it will have same units, moles per meter cube. So 6 moles per meter cube. Numerator 1760. So minus Ra is moles per meter cube per second. 1760 into concentration is moles per meter cube, and in denominator also we have moles per meter cube. So this cancels out with this cancels out with this, and this 1760, this constant in the numerator is first order rate constant. Second inverse, time is in second, so time inverse, that is second inverse. 2.5. For the complex reaction with stoichiometry, A plus 3B gives R plus S with the second order rate expression. So stoichiometry is A plus 3B giving you 2R plus S. Okay, total number of moles are 4 on this side and 3 on this side. And rate expression is known from experimentally determined data. So from experimental data, this has been found out, and some rate constant K1, first order with respect to A, first order with respect to B. Are the reaction rates related as follows? That means rate of A, rate of B, rate of R, some kind of relationship? No, it will not be, because stoichiometry is different. If the rates are not so related, then how they are related? And please account for plus or minus sign. So minus sign for disappearance. So with respect to Ra minus sign, with respect to Rb there will be minus sign, and formation Rr plus sign, Rs plus sign. So signs Rs, and this have to be divided by the corresponding stoichiometric coefficients. So minus Ra, that is equal to minus 1 by 3 into Rb plus 1 by 2 into Rr plus Rs. Okay, so simply we have to divide by the corresponding stoichiometric coefficients. For disappearance you have to put minus sign, and for formation plus sign. So this will be the relationship. Next is 2.6. A certain reaction rate has been given by minus Ra is equal to 0.005 Ca square. Units of rate minus Ra is moles per centimeter cube per minute. If the concentration is to be expressed in moles per liter and time in hours. So this has nothing to do with reaction engineering. You can say the process calculations problem. Just 0.005 Ca square. We want centimeter cube to be converted to liters. So 1 centimeter cube is 0.001 liter. Minutes to be converted to hour. Okay. So minute will be 1 by 60 hours. And you solve this, you will get 300 into Ca square. Rate now expressed in terms of moles per liter per hour instead of moles per centimeter cube per minute. 2.7. A gas reaction at 400 Kelvin, rate is reported as this minus dPa by dt. Now with respect to partial pressure in place of concentrations, 3.66 Pa square and dPa by dt, partial pressure in atmosphere, time is in hours, atmosphere per hour. What are the units of the rate constant? Now units of this rate constant will be atmosphere per hour divided by this Pa square. Pa square is atmosphere into atmosphere. So this atmosphere cancels out and you get second order rate. So time inverse into concentration inverse. So here time inverse is hour inverse, concentration expressed in terms of partial pressure. So atmosphere inverse. So units will be atmosphere inverse, hour inverse. Second part of the problem, what is the value of the rate constant for this reaction if the rate is expressed as kCa square? So in terms of concentrations, units are moles per meter cube per second. Now you know PV is equal to nRT. So for species A, Pa into V will be equal to Na into RT. Na by V is Ca. So Pa is CaRT. Now our equation is minus dPa by dt is equal to 3.66 Pa square. Units are atmosphere per hour. These are the units of this rate. Pa I replace by CaRT. This Pa square replaced by CaRT whole square. Okay. Then this RT on this side is transferred on this. So RT square by RT becomes RT. Minus dCa by dt is 3.66 into RT into Ca square. We want in terms of kCa square. So K we have to find out. And this we want in moles per meter cube per second. So K is 3.66 into RT. So here value of R is 0.08206 liter atmosphere per mole per degree Kelvin. We don't want meter here, we want meter cube. So it is converted into meter cube. Liter to meter cube. 1 meter cube is 1000 liter. So conversion is 8.206 into 10 raised to minus 5 meter cube atmosphere per mole per degree Kelvin. So K is 3.66. Okay. This 3.6 is atmosphere inverse and hour inverse, these units. Then R 8.206 10 raised to minus 5 meter cube atmosphere per mole per degree Kelvin into T. T is 400 Kelvin. So Kelvin cancels, this atmosphere cancels and we have meter cube per mole per hour. So this calculated value 0.1 is in meter cube per mole per hour. If you want it in meter cube, moles per meter cube per second. So 1 hour is 3600 seconds. So conversion will be 3.336 into 10 raised to minus 5 meter cube per mole per second. And this value if you want to express in terms of liter per mole per hour, So this has to be multiplied by 1000. So it will be 120. If I am carrying all these decimals here, okay, so we have, if you carry all the decimals, then you will get exactly 120. I have truncated it to 3 decimals, so I will get some minor change in this value. So this multiplied by meter cube is 1000 liter. Second into hours, you have to divide by 3600. So you get 120.12 liter per mole per hour. From here itself you get 120 liter per mole per hour. So simply the conversions of units. It has nothing to do with reaction engineering, but included in the book, and we are covering because many times you may have to deal with reporting your rate constant in the proper units or in the units asked in the question. So how to express the rate constants in different units, that is just practiced here. 2.8. The decomposition of nitrous oxide is found to proceed as follows. So N2O gives N2 plus half O2, and the rate law, observed rate law, is K1 into concentration of N2O square divided by 1 plus K2 into concentration of N2O. Okay. So if you look at this, the question is, what is the order of this reaction with respect to N2O and overall? So if you have to have, because this is reaction of shifting order, we know the form K1 by 1 plus K2Ca form. K1Ca into 1 plus K2Ca, or this is K1Ca square by 1 plus K2Ca form. Reaction of shifting order definitely. So you have to test two extremes and your behavior will be changing from one extreme to another extreme. So rate is shifting. You apply these conditions. If this K2 into a second term is very small as compared to 1, then it will vanish and you get simply K1 into N2O concentration square. So second order with respect to N2O. Order is 2. If N2 is greater than 1, much greater than 1, so this will go, and this will be simply K1 by K2 into concentration of N2O. So reaction order is 1. So this is order is shifting. So initially you will have higher concentration. So 1 to 2, shift is 1 to 2. So this is the reaction of shifting order. So what is the order of reaction with respect to? So you can write as a reaction of shifting order. Reaction order shifts from high concentration to low concentration of nitrous oxide from 1 to 2. Okay. Overall order also it will be changing. So overall order will be between 1 and 2. It depends at what time, at what concentration you are observing. 2.9. This problem is based on Arrhenius law, simple problems, 12 standard problems you can see. The pyrolysis of ethane proceeds with an activation energy of about 300 kilojoule per mole. How much faster is the decomposition at 650 than at 500? So we are solving these problems from the exercise just as a revision, because this K term will be there in our rate law, minus R is equal to K Ca raised to N, and that temperature dependence of K we want to test. So this will be the part of our rate equation. So K at 650, K0 into E raised to minus E by R 650 plus 273. For 500, minus E by R 500 plus 273. So if you take the ratio K at 650 divided by K at 500, it will be exponential. E is 300 kilojoules, so 300 into 1000 joules divided by 8.314 in proper units. R value, joules per mole per Kelvin. This is 923 minus 773. Temperature always you have to take in Kelvin. If you solve this, this is 1970.7, so approximately say 1971 times. So the reaction is 1970.7 times faster at 923 Kelvin than at 773 Kelvin, or faster at 650 than at 500 degree Celsius. 2.10, similar problem again. Here it is 20 times that is given, so we have to find the activation energy. At 1100 K, N-nonene thermally cracks 20 times as rapidly as at 1000. So at 1000, if you check the rate, at 1100 rate becomes 20 times. Find the activation energy for this decomposition. So take the ratio of K at 1100 to K at 1000. This we know, given 20. Exponential minus E by R. E is unknown now. 1 by 1100 minus 1 by 1000. So you substitute all these values and calculate. E you will get as 2,23,972 joules per mole. In kilojoules it will be approximately 274. 273.972 you can take as 274. So 275 kJ kilojoules per mole. Next problem is 2.11. In the mid 19th century, the entomology is the branch of study of insects. Henry Faber noted that the French ants of garden variety busily bustled about their business on hot days, but were rather sluggish on cool days. Okay, so their activity on cool days sluggish, very slow, whereas on hotter days the activity is much more. Checking his results with Oregon ants with the given data, what activation energy represents this change in bustliness? So at temperature in Celsius is given and their running speed is given. Let us say that speed is S and that speed represents some rate constant. Okay, here in meters per hour. So rate is directly corresponding to rate constant, say in our usual reactions. So this Celsius converted to Kelvin, this plus 273.15, you can take just 273. 1 by T value is calculated, and we want ln of K. This is representation of K, so ln of S. And if you plot this ln of S on y axis, 1 by T on x axis, and this is the best fit line drawn in Excel. Equation also you get directly representation equation in Excel. Minus 5417x, so m slope is negative and magnitude is 5417. So E by R is 5417, multiply by R you get the value of E. 23.87 is the value of ln of K. Exponential 23.87 will give you the value of K. Here we are not interested in finding K, what is asked is only activation energy. So E by R magnitude is 5417, so E is equal to 8.314 joules per mole per degree Kelvin. So this 8.314, 5417 is the value of E by R. So you get result in joules per mole and divided by 1000, so we get 45 kilojoule per mole. So activation energy E is nothing but r multiplied by this slope. Okay. Today we will stop here and we'll continue with the remaining problems from this exercise in our next lecture.